Okay, so today I'm actually going to be doing a cooking video. I'm going to be making some fish meatballs using mackerel. I used to love it. I really loved mackerel. Like, if you know me, you know, like, I loved it. Okay, so basically I've already cleaned the fish, you know, gutted it and cut the head off and washed it. I didn't want to show that on camera because I know some people are a bit funny about things like that. So the next step is literally just to add some lemon juice. That will just help to just get rid of some of that smell. You know, like, fish has that really strong smell that makes loads of people hate fish. But I think really, if you add a bit of lemon juice, that helps to just get rid of that smell. Just put a bit of salt as well. I just put some salt there. And then what I'm going to do is just basically just rub it all over, and then once I make sure it's really saturated with the lemon juice and the salt, I'm going to just transfer it to a pot. Hey guys, so just to update you, it's been in for 10 minutes now, steaming along fine. There is a bit of water because it was frozen, or part frozen. I had like tried to defrost it from last night, but it hadn't completely defrosted. So what I didn't say before, when I put the fish in, I actually added about half a cup of water, about 150 ml approximately, and then while it's doing that, the steaming, I've gotten together everything else that I'm going to need. So I've got 4 eggs, and I've got some all-purpose seasoning. I have got some dried and crushed Scotch bonnet straight from Africa, and 1 Maggi cube as well. I think, well, I'm hoping that will be enough for this amount of fish. I mean, there's quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 10 bits of fish, so I'm hoping that will be enough. I will update you once it has finished steaming. So it's been in 10 minutes. I'm going to give it another maybe 5 minutes and then check and see how it's doing. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes now. It looks like it has finished steaming. I think you'll know when the skin just looks a bit wrinkled and the fork just is going through quite easily. Looks like it's closing up again, so I think it actually is finished. I'm gonna just move it off the heat and let it cool down. I like just taking the skin off the fish. I've done one so far, and then I thought I'll just film this one. I haven't let it cool down completely because I actually don't have that much time to do this, and I need to make sure I'm not doing this in the next hour because I have to pick my son up from nursery. So it is still quite hot, so what I've used really just a potato peeler, and you just use it to just peel the skin off, sort of like you would like a potato. You can probably use a knife as well, but I'm using a peeler just for some control really, because I don't want to like take off too much. And with the peeler you can just sort of see that it's mainly the skin that comes off. The annoying thing about taking all this skin off is that a lot of the oil, the good fish oil, is actually in this skin, and yeah, but you know, what can you do? So just peel it off like that. Just take off as much as you can, really. I know this is really hard, I have to admit. I'm just like using the same pot to just get rid of the peeled bits. But yeah, I mean, if I had both hands, it would be a lot easier, but because I wanted to show you guys. So peel, 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 like this. Just take all the skin off. And put that to the side. All those big bones. Thing about mackerel is you kind of know where the bones are in this fish. You know, like most of them are in like this part of the fish. Yeah, I mean, you've got the main ones there, but most of them, the small bones are on this part of the fish, the inner bit, like around the belly side. So you got to be really careful with that. Yeah. Okay, so I've gotten off as much skin as possible. With two hands it would be a lot easier, but what you want to do is just basically try and just take off as much of the flesh bit as possible, in a nice way. Like I said, with two hands it's a lot easier. Just use a knife and fork and get it off. But yeah, so what you want to do, what I'm just doing is just putting all that into another pot. Okay, so I've actually finally finished just taking all the skin off and taking, you know, the big bone in the center, taking that off. I think the main reason for taking the skin off really is because I feel like it adds like a metallic taste to the fish, you know, like afterwards, and I don't like that taste, so I have to take the skin off. So that's optional. Like if you don't want to go through all that hard work, then yeah, so you can literally just get to this stage, and then what I'm going to do from here is just basically try and take off as much bones as possible. As you can see, like I said, with mackerel, there's one part of the fish, like this bit around the belly area, that's got a lot of bones. I don't know if you can see all these bones, a lot of bones, but they're all like quite big bones, massive bones, so you'll be able to see most of them. So something like this. So what I do with this bit now, this is quite a nice bit of fillet actually. Just put it in another pot. And obviously I'm going to go through most of it, like cut it into pieces to make sure there are no like huge bones in there, or even smaller ones if I can see them. Like here now I found one. So I'm just going to put that here. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through all the fish like this and just get rid of the bones. So like I said. Okay, so I've finished deboning, or whatever the word is, the fish. It took a long time, just about an hour, to take all the bones off. I would say I've probably made sure I've taken 80% of the bones out of that, and I'm just gonna add the eggs now, because it's the only thing I can't do one-handed. Okay, so I've added 4 eggs, and remember there was about 10 fish, and yeah, so 4 eggs. I'm gonna add 1 square of Maggi cube, just in there. It's just to add a bit of flavour. If you know African cooking, you'll know that we ain't cooking nothing unless it's got Maggi in it. And I'm gonna add just a bit of pepper. As from before, I said everything that I'm going to be using. I wasn't going to film this because I didn't know if I'd be able to do it one-handed, but basically, yeah, so just going in there. You have to really be comfortable with the fish in general to be able to do this by hand. Okay, so I've mixed it up. I've mixed it up. And it looks alright. It actually looks okay, like texture wise. And what I've done, I've got 2 baking trays here. I've put some oil on, and just gonna start just boiling with one hand for now, so I can show you. But you can do it with 2 hands, I'm sure. Just like that, really. So that's 1. After all this hard work, place it on the baking tray. 1. And I'll come back when I've done more. Okay, so this is it, all boiled up. Didn't take too long actually, about 20 minutes. Sorry, I thought I'd just turn the camera around. So I put it at 180 to start, and I put it in for about 20 minutes at 180, and then the last 10 minutes I've put it at 200 just to try and just get it to be a little bit more of the golden brown colour that you just saw there. because I know like it's cooked really, so I just need it to just, you know, like be sort of like firm on like kind of crunchy on the outside. And yeah, so another 10 minutes at 200, and then that's it. Okay guys, so this is the finishing product. I think it came out really well. And then I think also it being sort of like a very oily fish kind of really helps with the whole baking process, because it doesn't dry out at all, because the fish is quite oily, which is supposed to be quite good for you. But yeah. I haven't tried it yet. Not bad. It's actually not bad. It's actually not bad at all. And I'm thinking it's going to taste even better in some kind of sauce. Usually I'll probably just put this in some African stew or peanut stew, which I think is a Sierra Leonean thing. I'm not sure many Africans actually cook that. But yeah, or just in a spaghetti bolognese. So cheers.